Yo, what's up, everybody? RageCage20 here. Back with some Mushroomhead. A Wonderful Life. Took me a second, I had to think about what the album was. The Wonderful Life album. Today we have Seen It All, the official music video. I don't really got much to say about it. You know what I mean? I should move this a little bit. Here we go. Move stuff around. I've shared my feelings on the past Mushroomhead songs. There's been some really good stuff. Just missing a secret flavor that I'm hoping we get in this song. But hey, you never know how's it's gonna goes and what's gonna happens. So we'll find out how it goes down together. All right, give me your best, Mushroomhead. I'm sure you won't disappoint. Seeing it all. Let's fucking go. What's my volume at? Boom. Exactly where I want it. Got a new I've had this fresh for a couple of videos now. I don't think I mentioned it. I have a new keyboard. There we go. My brain died. I have a new keyboard because the last one survived the first initial blast of orange soda. Immune to orange soda. I accidentally spilled some water on it a couple weeks after the orange soda incident, and it was fine for like an hour, or like 2 or 3 hours, and then all of a sudden it just started freaking the fuck out. So I had to get a new one. So I upgraded from the the Razor. This is a Razor. I think it's a Razor. The Black Widow to the Huntsman V2. This bitch is sick. Anyways, that's not what you're here for. I forgot to update people, so I forgot to update people. It's very nice, still clicky, but like, just it feels so smooth, and I could just turn up the volume whenever I feel like it, mute it, move it. Yeah, I just press the button here. It's just so fancy. Anyways, not important. Seen it all, Mushroomhead. Let's go. Interesting. Interesting. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure at the end of one of the other music videos, either my guess would be with Madness Within or Carry On, or one of the end of those two. I'm pretty sure the whole Napalm outro recommendation, what to watch next, small audio clip. I'm pretty sure we heard the chorus at the end of that. Now it's linking together. It's like, oh yeah, I heard that. All right, cool. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. As I just had a brain train in my head that I'll share in a moment here. It made me laugh. But for the song itself, yeah. Dude, forgot his name. It's not Jason. It's the other one. Whatever. The other male singer that they have in the group. Sounding good, and then of course switching to Jason's rap fry metal stuff. Classic, good shit. Good stuff in the instruments that I was picking up every now and then. Just kind of standard, good, catchy song. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. The reason I laughed was because it's just like I was just thinking like, it's okay. I very much did not expect to hear that flavor that I was looking for coming into this song. But like, unless Jackie's doing something else in the band, which I don't think she is, at least from what I remember looking up, because like on Wikipedia they have that graph of like who's been in the band for how long and what they do and whatnot. That's a pretty cool graph. Um, I'm pretty sure she's only a vocalist, but I'll go check. But it's just like, I'm okay, if we're not gonna put that flavor in there, that Jackie flavor in there, fine. But like, don't put her in the video as if like, don't remind me of what I'm not getting. You know what I mean? Like, don't put her in there as if she's doing something when she's not doing anything in the song. Like, come on, man. It's just like, hey, just a reminder, she is in the band somewhere. Like, you might hear her sing eventually. Like, she is here. Like, don't forget, she's here. Like, stop popping her in, man. Like, leave her out if she's not in the song, man. Like, don't tease me with what could be and what you're refusing to give. You know what I mean? It just. But anyways, no, that was good. That was good stuff. That was a good song there. There was some very interesting stuff here, especially in the beginning. I liked that like whisper start that he had there, and something about the guitar. The guitar was doing something cool too, I think. And then when it repeats, after first off saying "This Wonderful Life," a reference to the album. I caught that. Very good. But then repeats it with this kind of like high, like it's almost still whispering, but like not, like almost like a quiet singing. This kind of nice high tone in there. That was really cool. I liked that. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. The chorus was catchy as fuck. Uh, yeah. Thing. Yeah. Dog's having a nightmare in the other room. Very loud. Instead, make sure that's what it was. So yeah, and I usually don't, with videos, I don't pay attention to the lyrics. I did catch a few in there occasionally, but definitely pay attention because a lyric or two that I caught in there sounded pretty cool. So I wanted I definitely want to catch some of these bars. But as I mentioned before, the complexity of their word choice is always pretty cool. Like just that second stanza there, thrust upon the precipice of virtue and sin. Like that's just That's some very clever, sophisticated word choice in there, and I like it. I like it indeed. All right, let's go back to the beginning here. I want to hear this repeat. The lyrics, the whisper, the guitars, the whole package. Let's get it in. Fucking seagull? Oh, yeah. I'll have to pay attention to that because I was not paying attention to that at all. And then when I paused it and that sound stopped happening, I was like, "What the fuck was that?" That was really cool. But I just like the kind of like, not much. It's kind of the heavy, moving rhythms that we have in here. It's just very slow bass kicks in here. Kick drum bassy hits, and I think you got the hi-hat. I think you got very kind of open hi-hat going on there as well. I think it was hearing from the drums, just very slow, trudging like, with that going on in the guitar. Very interesting, just kind of foundational setup there by the instrumentation. Let me, before I get into what else is going on here, when does the song actually start? We'll go around 6. That sounds good. Yeah, before we get into everything else and whatever the fuck else was happening there that I did not pay attention to the first 2 listens, let me hear what's going on again with that guitar and those drums. It's very. It's a good solid hit, just very trudging, just heavy step like rhythm there. Very cool. Oh, just kind of feeling a theme there. So it's like every like 3 or 4 beats you get this kind of quiet, but it sounds like very kind of just like a hi-hat, but it's like not clamped down, just kind of very loose, just kind of just like a slight hit and just lets it fade off, which is very cool. Yeah, just everything about this intro is just very, it's like it's tension building. It's just, yeah, it just has this like slow lumbering march like sound to it. Very cool. Yeah, those sound like birds. I don't know if necessarily seagulls, but that sounds like birds. Whatever sound effects are going on in the background there sound like birds. That's definitely birds. It doesn't sound like, now that I think about it, it doesn't sound seagulls. It sounds, maybe it does. It sounds like just birds you'd have like just outside your house, like waking you up early dawn kind of thing, which, you know, with the theme of A Wonderful Life, and you have the some of the imagery and the pictures and stuff of that, like white picket, perfect suburban lifestyle kind of thing. Those bird sounds make a lot of sense. Really cool there. All right, finally, we're gonna pay attention to these vocals here. Okay, now that we got all that foundation done. I like the kind of the drawn out held win and sin, kind of like how he holds that out. It is interesting. The whisper is adding a very cool, very interesting effect here to the beginning and whatnot, with that very anticipatory building background foundation that the instruments are setting up. But it also sounds like it has this interesting, like, almost accent to the way he's speaking. Okay, yeah, especially on We're Still Playing to Win. We're still playing to win. It just has this very interesting, like, accent on the way he's saying these. Very interesting. Very interesting. That last stanza there, those last few bars, is just is not following a rhyme scheme or anything like that. It doesn't rhyme or anything. It's very interesting. But yeah, just something about the flow of that is just it's very lulling. It's very interesting there. The rhymes there, especially the inner rhyme there, in pursuit of our dreams, sidestepping the screams. Like the word choice is very fascinating. It's very thought provoking. It's fascinating in there. Now we're gonna hear the repeat of it. See if anything else gets kicked up, instrumentally and whatnot. But get into that higher tone in here that I remember. Very interested to check that out again. So the bird sounds went away. Still have relatively the same thing going on from the guitar. I think the drums get a little bit more intensity to them, and maybe you hear the hi-hat. I think it's the hi-hat. The treble from the hi-hat coming in a little bit more consistently, more frequently. But was really helping build this anticipation, this build in the emotion and and just the feeling and energy in the song in general. Besides, obviously, the voice changing up and having some actual different tonality to it because it's not whispered anymore. So you're actually getting a more melodic passage to it. Besides that, you have those chords coming in there. You have those chords coming in every now and then, which is just building the tension, building the energy, but building this momentum and whatnot happening in here. That's a really cool change up there. That and the and just the melody that's going on in there, from what I can remember. Dun, 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 dun. Just like, this is a very nice smooth melody line in there that we got with this kind of nice higher tonality. All right, now let's see. Yeah. I mentioned this. I don't know if it happens in the first chorus or not, so we're gonna skip it in the first chorus, and we'll talk about the second chorus. This first chorus. So there's this kind of like, I don't know if it's necessarily rock, but that's the first place my brain went. Kind of this like rock twist to the way he sings some of these lines, and then we got Jason coming in with that metal rap and whatnot, which is really cool. So let's listen to that in this chorus here. Yeah, that's it. Dun dun dun. Kind of adds that little edge, the little grit on just on the end of that note there. Just kind of this little bit of kind of rockish kind of feel to it. Very nice. It's very nice. Like, yeah, it just has this little bit of kind of almost a rock and roll kind of I'd say rock and roll, like alt rock kind of around that kind of zone, somewhere within that field, just kind of like swinging and sassiness to it, just on the end of the notes, into the phrases and whatnot. Just beautiful stuff right there. And that nice end there. Da, da, da. And this little push at the end of the chorus there. That's really cool. I gotta tell you, man. It's like every time Jason comes in with his flow and his screaming rap metal, dude. That vocal fry screaming rap metal. It's just it just works every time. It just works every time. The way he shapes these phrases, the rhythms that is chosen here for this flow. Dun 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 dun. That little pause he's got in there, the 2 and then 3 stressed syllables. Yeah, I just had to make sure I got that right. Ta 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 ta. Like short, long, short, short, short. You know, nice. That flow was nice, and the words themselves. These scars unite us. These ties that bind us. Like, come on, dog. That's what's up. That's what's up right there. Ooh, catch that right there. Catch that right there. I like how he took the fact that together is a 3-syllable word, together, and made it the tethered ta 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 with 2 words instead of like 4 or 5. In 2 words, tethered together. Like, found a way to get the syllables to work the same way it did in the last 2 phrases there. Like, that's crazy. But I like the little bit of a pickup on Forever We Weathered the Storm. That's also, it was really cool. I also kind of like the imagery there of the blood of the righteous. This flood will define us. Almost like the flood of blood from the righteous. It's just kind of where my brain's going on there. It's very cool. But that rhyme at the end of one bar and at the beginning of the next bar, the battered, the tattered, the bruised and battered, the tattered and torn. Let's go, dude. That was sick. Let me back it up. Let's get all of what I just talked about there in this. That was fucking sick, man. Unite us, these stars that bind us, tethered together forever. We weather the storm. Da 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 da. Come on, Jason. What are you doing to me, buddy? Tethered together forever. We weather the storm. The blood of the righteous, the flood will define us. The bruised, the battered, the tattered and the torn. That's great. Also, I like because when the syllables of will define us, that would be 4. So instead of taking the pause, which would have made that not meter out correctly, he instead got rid of the pause that he usually had. Instead of this flood will define us, he ignored that pause and said this flood will define us, so that it fit the meter. That's smart. That's clever. That's really clever right there. That good shit, man. This is really good shit right here. All right, so the next thing I have is at the chorus, which is coming up here, but I wanted to see what happened with this little short bridge section here. I don't remember it very well, so I want to check that out again. I do like that kind of that again. They're doing a lot of work with the stresses on these syllables and whatnot, and the fact that they're taking multiple syllabic words, and stressing those syllables and using that to play around with the rhythm and the way that each word is being said. I think that is very clever. So taking evaporating and really evaporating and really just really stretching that out and giving every part, every syllable of that word is stress is just very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. I just love the way they're playing with it. So cool. Yeah, I don't know if I even listening to this again. I don't know if I noticed this in the first chorus either. It doesn't sound like it's in the first chorus, but it easily could be. I do. It's I'm pretty sure same rhythm, but I feel like there's more emphasis on some of these just kind of really broken up chords and like kind of almost very scattered rhythm almost. Like I mean, it feels a little bit like a very chunky, like rigid rhythm, but it's like not at the same time. It's just kind of very broken up and very, very. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it yet. I'll listen to it again. I'll see if I can find better words to describe it. But yeah, there seems to be a little bit more heaviness to it, and then there's a section where the bass has some like almost like slap-like sounds to it. Very interesting. I don't recall that even listening again to the first chorus, so I don't know if they just amped it up the second chorus or something, or I'm just really spacing and just focusing on something else. I have no idea. I don't know what that rhythm is doing. It's doing something very specific that's making me notice it. Like I don't know if it's a specific kind of like I don't know if it's a mix meter, if it's switching between duple and triple. It would take me a while to figure that out just by listening to it. But it's very sporadic. It's not really following kind of a very even pattern. It's kind of jumping around and whatnot to kind of different rhythms or different kind of a different feel is the best word that's coming to mind. It's very interesting, and I love the sound on that kick bass. It has this very kind of wet, just thick sound to it, just as creating a really good rhythm that I just noticed. This kind of good foundational timekeeping rhythm underneath everything. It just has this it's just kind of very, very interestingly pulsed, kind of sporadic rhythm to it, which is really cool. But also the bass in here is just fucking shredded. Right there, dang, dang, dang. Like yeah, that bass just fucking chunks there. Just the bass is coming in with this very slappy, thick sound. It's really good shit. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Yeah. Alright, so the rest of there's only one part that changes here. What do I have next? Around 2:30, so I assume that's exactly exactly this change up here. So let's jump ahead. Let's go about 2:25 here. Skip ahead and whatnot. Set the rhythm. Don't know what about the rhythm, but I set the rhythm. So let's check that out. Yeah. So obviously, I mean, the vocal line is pretty cool, but obviously I'm talking about the instruments here, the guitars and whatnot, both between the chunk and awesome power chords of the guitars, but also the bass. That rumbly bass is still going on, just playing around through while the guitars are holding out guitars, I don't know how many guitars they have, are holding out these chords and whatnot. These long sustained chords, and the bass is just rumbling along, doing a little stuff in between there, which is really cool. But it's like it's mixing a little bit of that kind of kind of rhythm and whatnot, kind of sporadicness that was in the chorus, but then it's in between these like held chords. They'll just have this awesome held power chord, and then to another held out chord there, and it's going from like long sustained to sporadic to stuff, and then back to long sustained. Is going back and forth continuously, which is creating this very interesting rhythm that you think you have it figured out, and then it's going fast, and it's slow again, and then it's going fast. It's constantly switching between the two, keeping your ears listening the whole time. That was a nice note there. I like that note. Yeah, some nice notes going on here. Let's see. These are some of the words I was catching before. Refuse to kneel to their throne, refuse to fade into the unknown. Those are some bars right there. I like those bars right there. That chord though, the vocal chord though, that harmony there, I think I heard three voices in that harmony, or maybe it's just two switching to different things and whatnot, because like one of the voices, and I don't know who this could be, it could easily be Jason, or it could be someone else, I don't know, comes in at this kind of nice that almost sounds like Jackie for a second, which it could be, you never know, but then it like holds and it gets more like aggressive and like starts frying at the end of the phrase, at the end of the held note there. That's interesting. And excuse me, his note on top there, that's a beautiful fucking harmony there. And then it starts to get fried, aggressive, and metal at the end of it. It's like best of both worlds in that situation. Yeah, and this part here I wanted to listen to again because something was piquing my ears. Something was catching my attention, and I couldn't tell if some weird sound was happening, if they were panning it or moving or something. Something caught my ears' attention. So I really want to focus in on this part because something happened. Besides those like bird sounds coming back in. Like that I'm picking up here. No, I think it's just these. I think it's just kind of, again, those like kind of bird like sounds coming in. I feel like it's not like directly centered. It's kind of more over to the right, but not like all the way over to the right. It's kind of like coming in right around here in my head. And I think it just has this like kind of stretched thinness to it, and it's a little bit more sharp and shrill, and it's just kind of coming in every now and then. I think that's just what my ears were picking up and listening to. So 3:30, we're just gonna let it keep rolling out here. Last thing I have on here is that whisper growl when they're repeating the "until we've seen it all" section. Yeah, it's that part in the voice where you just let it break like this. You know, it just has that rumble, that growl, that vocal fry to it, and just whispering with it. You know, just that sinister rumbliness to it. That's tasty, mixed with this singer you see before you. I forgot his name. I already forgot his name from the last video. It's been a while. It's been over a week, so forgive me. Anyways, yeah, that mixed with his vocals coming in every now and then. It's clean writing right here. Yeah, and also I forgot about that. The fact that it's going, the guitar is mimicking the same rhythm and kind of like giving it notes, because technically, no, it like technically has notes. It technically has tonality, but like it doesn't. But with a lot of like vocal fry and screaming or whatnot, the guitars will often add to your ears what you think the melody is, because the guitars will play some kind of notes or whatnot, and then the atonal vocal fry screaming will take on those notes. It's very interesting. Listen to that when you hear the dun 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 dun, and it kind of sounds like that's the notes that Jason is singing, but technically not, because it doesn't have any tonality to it. Like, it barely does, but it technically doesn't have any tonality to it, but it sounds like it does because the guitar is doing the same rhythm, and it sounds like it's the same notes as the guitar. It's a very cool effect that what's the name, Angela Glasso, whatever it is, the original singer of Arch Enemy. I've heard her do many times. If you go listen to Yesterday Is Dead and Gone, she doesn't sing a single note. It has no tonality to it. It's all screamed and whatnot. But during the chorus and whatnot, it sounds like it has tonality to it, because you hear the guitar da na 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 da na na na, and it just sounds like that's what she's singing. It's a very interesting effect that happens when there's actually no tonality in the vocals, but the guitar is making it sound, is following the vocal line, but makes it sound like, yeah, it's very fucking cool. So listen for that. Fuck, I'm on the wrong one. Yeah, listen for that in here. It's very cool. Very nice cut out there on the last note. Just kind of silent, like fade on the vocals there. That's cool. Very cool song. I liked it. I thought there was really cool aspects about it, both vocally and instrumentally and lyrically. But of course, the lyrics of Mushroomhead has always been pretty impressive. Just their choice of words being very not niche, but words not often heard in most songs, and often more complicated and complex lyricism in here, and also way they make it flow and rhyme just very well. The lyrics are always pretty impressive from Mushroomhead. But yeah, no, everything sounded good. Everything checking off is a good song. And I know the statement in the next song is answered, but like, I've already heard the heresy, so I won't be reacting to that. Next one will be What a Shame. But it's like everything is sounding good, it's doing good. Um, let's see, what were the first three ones? Requiem for Tomorrow, Madness Within, Seen It All. Like, can I get Jackie in here, please? I want to hear her voice. Uh, but yeah, no, everything else is sounding great. It's just like I like Jackie, man. I want to tell you, I really like Jackie, and I know she's in the Heresy and Carry On so far, but it's just I would love for her to drop a verse, man. Like my heart is bleeding out for her to drop a fucking verse. It yearns for it. It needs it. So hopefully we'll get that in here somewhere. Otherwise, I might drive everyone insane by complaining about it every single song. Anyways, try not to, but no promises. Because again, the yearning and the bleeding and the what have you, it takes control. I can't. It's all I can think about. So yeah, thank y'all for joining me. That was a good song. I liked it, and I will see you all for What a Shame.